tonight, you see them every day, driving down our streets, patrolling our neighborhoods, and responding to our emergencies. But how much do you really know about how the police department protects our city? Naperville News Extra's Alyssa Bohenick has a closer look at the threats in our own backyard and what's being done to ensure your safety.
They were next to you in your tent at Ribfest, with you along the route of a local run, and walking the streets down your favorite parade, all in an effort to keep you safe. But in today's world, that's easier said than done. With growing concerns about terrorism and security threats, the Naperville Police Department has more to consider when protecting our community.
Terrorism, to our department and to myself, is really an organization. It's an organization that has a cause, usually political or emotional, like I said. They're organized, they're well funded, and they have a passion and a mission to deliver their message.
And because of advancing technology, the threats are becoming more prevalent, with endless information at one's fingertips.
That allows people to have access to information, and they can essentially become terrorists in their own basements and then emerge with their agendas.
Because of these concerns, the Naperville Police Department joined forces with other municipalities to strengthen their defense mechanisms and better prepare themselves to combat danger in town.
The federal government, after 9/11, the direction from the President of the United States at that time, George Bush, was we got to make sure the country is safe and that this could never happen again. So he created the Department of Homeland Security and provided resources to state and local governments, specifically municipal police departments. So we received a lot of resources from the federal government to help us prepare for any future terrorist attack.
Much of their preparations involve scenario-based training through the help of nearby College of DuPage, which teaches officers to suppress an emergency situation right away. Here, state-of-the-art training is offered at their Homeland Security Education Center, one of 6 police academies in the state that allows other municipalities like Naperville to practice their defense skills.
The interaction between departments is very important. So we may have a police department here and the fire department from the town working together. We may have paramedics from a town working with another town. Try to come up with exercises where they can all integrate and work together. And what I've found is that that's very important nowadays, because if there's a critical incident, you want people to not be exchanging business cards at the scene of the critical incident. You want them to already know each other, and they know what to do, and they know what their roles are.
The facility, which was built in 2011, features multiple training courses for emergency teams to practice in a controlled environment, in order to be better prepared for threatening situations in the future.
The Homeland Security Education Center, there really isn't a building close to this in the United States that has all the components of people being trained in public safety as this building has. Not only the street scene that we're sitting in right now, but the smoke room, the mat room, the forensic laboratories, the mock apartments, the 9/11 I-beam. So when you roll those things up into one location, this doesn't compare, there's nothing that can compare to it throughout the country.
This is a change in strategy and training for the Naperville Chief of Police, who's come to realize that the scenario-based practice could mean the difference between life and death.
Our purpose as police officers and as fire department is to get in there right away to save lives. So we've changed our strategy to be first responders. So if we get an incident like that, whether it's in a school or a university or wherever it is here in the city of Naperville, our officers, we won't stage. We have trained our officers to respond.
One of the biggest benefits to the training center is a room called the street scene, a 4-dimensional laboratory designed like a regular street you might find in a town like Naperville. But the tools inside this laboratory provide a new way for departments to prepare for the worst.
Departments will come in and do practical exercises, such as felony vehicle stops, active shooter, emergency medical technician training, paramedic training. They'll use this for the practical exercises, and that's really one of the nicest things about this building.
The Naperville Fire Department recently introduced a tactical EMS program, which has paramedics trained with police to better respond in dangerous emergency situations.
We want to be as prepared and effective as possible, so programs like this allow us to do that, expand our services so we are more responsive to the community in every avenue possible.
Typically, firefighter paramedics must wait to enter a scene until the police deem it safe. However, with this training, they are able to go into an area with active danger and administer care to any potential victims as soon as they arrive.
Heard these situations where we've had someone commit a violent crime in a theater, let's say. We've seen violent crimes throughout the country occur in schools. We've seen them in shopping plazas. We've seen them in other public occupancies. There really isn't any place that is immune for something like this to happen.
The current threat level is always present and ever-changing. But by combining forces in multiple areas, public safety officials do their best to keep us safe.
There's going to be more terrorist attacks. We don't know how they're going to be carried out, but we do know there will be some, and we do know the United States is a target. Always will be.
They have the best training available in the area of Homeland Security and really to protect our country to the best of their abilities.
I'm Melissa Bohennick for Naperville News Extra.